Live from 12 Studios, this is News 12 at 10.
It's been a beautiful, sunny Mother's Day, but there's some more rain headed our way this week. Tom Hale's tracking when those storms could hit. And consumers and farmers looking for a new way to connect as people avoid stores during the pandemic. How a local Facebook group is helping out.
More and more states getting back to business. I'm Jackie Heinrich in New York. How the states are handling reopenings, coming up.
Welcome to News 12 at 10. I'm Meredith McCown. Officials say a man drowned at Turner Falls today. Susie Souther with the City of Davis says it happened around 5 p.m. at the Blue Hole Pool. She says a 26-year-old man was swimming with friends when he went under the water and didn't resurface. Multiple state and local agencies responded to the scene. The man's identity has not been released. Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers recovered a body this morning in Lake Texoma. A man says he was fishing on the lake after 6 a.m. when he saw a body and called OHP. Troopers say the body was recovered near Preston Point. The person's name hasn't been released. 8 people are injured and 4 in critical condition after a crash in Cole County this morning. Troopers say the crash happened just before 11:30 on State Highway 48 south of Tupelo. A car headed north on the highway collided with a car going west on a county road who ran through a stop sign. Troopers say 2 passengers were thrown from the car around 30 feet. 5 people were flown to an Oklahoma City hospital. A 5-year-old and 2-year-old are among those in critical condition. Troopers say one of the drivers had an odor of alcohol. Well, turning to weather, it was a lovely weather outside for Mother's Day, but some rain could be coming our way this week. Tom Hale is standing by with us now. Tom, what are the chances?
The chances are good that we see rain almost every day. So that's why this Mother's Day has been so special. It's been kind of a cross. If you closed your eyes, you couldn't tell whether it was fall or spring. We've been cooler than normal by anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees across Texoma with highs around 72. Right now, our temperatures have dropped down into the 60s. And overall, taking a look, you can see we've had some showers just to the north and a few showers you maybe haven't seen. We'll talk about those and the ones to come this week up next in weather.
All right, thank you, Tom. Well, now taking a look at the recent coronavirus cases across Texoma, Lamar County confirmed a 5th death today. Health officials say all 5 deaths there are related to the outbreak at the Paris Healthcare Center nursing home. There are 96 total cases in the county. Officials say at least 72 of those are at nursing homes. Grayson County confirmed 2 new cases today, bringing the total to 91. Health officials say both patients are in their 50s and had close contact with other confirmed cases. The 2 were isolating at their homes in Sherman and Denison. So far, 311 people have been infected with COVID-19 in Texoma, and 12 people have died due to the virus. An online group is connecting Texoma farmers and consumers during the COVID-19 pandemic. News 12's Braley McCoy spoke with the group creators about how they got the idea.
You know, with everything going on and people not wanting to go to stores or not allowed to go to stores, and you know, with the amount of people that we have around here that are farmers and ranchers and can supply us even better food that you can get from the stores.
Rob Lamar says he posted to Facebook about the idea to start a group for local farmers and consumers to connect. Elizabeth Gracie saw the post and decided to help make it a reality.
Why not try to get the word out there about them and get everybody going to them, and not only that, helping them out to survive this.
Neither are farmers, but Lamar and Gracie say they have friends who are and have seen the impact of COVID-19 on their industry. So last Saturday, Gracie started the Facebook group Texoma Farmers and Ranchers to connect local farmers and consumers.
It's really working out. There was a need that I wasn't even aware was there.
Many farmers post to the group selling things like eggs, vegetables, and meat. Consumers can also post in search of farm fresh food to buy locally.
It just kind of stemmed from the fact that, you know, what you're seeing online about, you know, the scare of food shortages and whatnot.
And in just a week, the group has grown to about 1,200 members.
Not only are they getting a little bit of free advertisement, but the consumers are getting a little bit more information than they thought was out there.
You can find the link on the KXII website and app. In Sherman, Braley McCoy, News 12.
Starting this week, President Trump has announced the government will buy $3 billion worth of dairy, meat, and produce from America's farmers. For ranchers, cattle prices have dropped a third in 2 months, even as prices for consumers hit new highs. Here's Janet Shamlian.
Auctioneer Brian Upmore's rapid-fire cattle rattle moves livestock in the rural town of West Texas. Almost 2,000 calves, cows, and bulls will sell here today. But those destined for the slaughterhouse aren't the only ones being butchered.
Cattle prices have plummeted the past few months. When ranchers bring them to a sale barn like this, they say they're getting more than 30% less than they were in January.
Corey Priest is a second-generation rancher who says he's never seen it this bad.
Anywhere from $150 to up to $450 per head less now than 2 months ago.
That's significant.
Oh, that's, yeah, percentage-wise, that's huge.
The nation's meat packers are a monopoly. 4 companies purchase and process more than 80% of the nation's cattle raised for beef production. With plants at limited capacity or shut down, they're buying fewer cattle, Priest says, and paying less for each due to oversupply.
Could that put some ranchers out of business?
I think it probably already has, yeah, no doubt.
And yet consumers aren't benefiting from ranchers' lower profits. Meat prices are high, selection limited. With the system bottlenecked, some are now holding their herds until they can sell for more. But with feeding costs, that's expensive too.
People aren't going to sell to a pack house for less money than what they ought to get for it.
The nation's cattle, so many ready for market, little market for them. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, West Texas.
2 months after stay-at-home orders were put in place, almost all states will somewhat be back in business after this week. Jackie Heinrich has more on how the states are handling restarting their economies.
This weekend looked a lot different for a lot of people across the country as more and more states are rolling out reopenings. And on Monday, 11 more states will begin to ease even more restrictions.
So happy. I felt like I'm winning a lottery. I was so happy. I kept calling all my clients to come back. I'm back to work.
Ohio's had some of the strictest lockdown orders, but by the end of the week, 90% of the state will be back to business, something Governor Mike DeWine calls a balancing act, factoring in both the health of the people and the economic suffering in his state.
It's really a risk no matter what we do. It's a risk if we don't do anything. It's a risk if we do this. What we have done is come up with the best practices for businesses to reopen.
Most of the states reopening, including Ohio, haven't met the 2-week steady downward trajectory in cases.
We're at a plateau with deaths. We're at a plateau in regard to new cases. So they do go up and down. We wish we were going down. We're not.
And many doctors say states will need to double their testing capabilities to more than 4 million a week to accurately track the virus.
These diagnostic capabilities are going to go a long way. And on top of that, it's really going to allow a safe environment for people that go back to work and alleviate a lot of the anxiety and the fears that many people have about going back to work.
In New York, the virus's epicenter, parts of the state will start reopening on a regional basis beginning May 15th, provided they've met all 7 criteria laid out by Governor Cuomo. After this week, only 2 parts of the country will remain mostly shut down. That's Washington, D.C. and South Dakota. In New York, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
Americans are headed back to work as states reopen, but the offices they return to might have a new look. How some businesses are changing up their workspaces as they bring employees back in.